51 on road to a million. Today was pretty good, actually, I would say. I made a couple of calls this morning. I did wake up, actually, and be like, crap. And these are the thoughts that go inside of my head when I do something, essentially. And I just have to remember that I have to stay strong and that I can make it through pretty much anything that I put myself into. So this morning I woke up at 5 a.m., no alarm, and I was like, all right, let's just get up. I did a little bit of yoga, meditated, and then I ended up just kind of closing my eyes, resting my eyes, maybe falling back asleep for a couple of hours or so. Just on the couch because I was thinking, I was like, I should text my director and be like, hey, can we redact my letter of resignation? And I was like, I really want, because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to fucking do. I was like, I was like, I have no idea. I was terrified. I was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to do any of this? And I was just like, I don't know. So I ended up laying there and realizing it's like, I had to think and realize that a lot of the times we always remember the good moments during a breakup and we forget the bad moments, the moments where maybe we were demeaned or we weren't valued in the ways that we were needed to. And I didn't notice this necessarily at first when I was working at the company. Looking back on it, I see it now more and more. The reason I didn't recognize it at first was because they promoted me as quickly as they could. I might watch Dune tonight on Netflix. Heard it was good. I heard there was a second one. I gotta focus. During relationships, during breakups, we only ever remember the good parts. And I had to remind myself, it's like, okay. So I watched the video that I did right after I quit my job and I went to the gym, and I watched that during lunch, and I was like, oh yeah, that is true. I forgot about those things. How I was like, I've made it through this and I made it through that. I've run more than I've ever ran beforehand. I've walked so many miles. I've ridden my bike longer than I ever have. I've lifted weights for X amount of years. I forgot about all these things. And I just got out of the shower after sitting in the sauna for about an hour and running in the rain as well too, which there's a video on one of my other channels, which if you guys comment down below, maybe I'll share that channel name with you. But yeah, it's just we always only ever remember the good things and not the bad things. We don't remember the times where it's like, oh yeah, we just need to add a little bit more polish to you. Or it's like, hey, yeah, so you still need to do this, or you need to add on this, or you need to do X, Y, Z thing. And it's like, dude, I've been doing those things. That's why I was able to move up as quickly as I did. And yet you're telling me that I still have to do more. Can't you just be like, hey, yeah, you're doing fantastic. Great job. And I get it because it's more of an internal thing. And that's how I look at myself is oh, I should do this and 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 I need to improve on this and this little thing and this little thing and this little thing and all these little things. And I think that's why I was being told hey, you just need a little bit of polish because everybody's just a mirror reflection of us. So I thought that I just needed a little bit more polish, and I believe that I got that polish essentially. I shaped up everything, and I realized it's well, what happens if what if there actually is nothing wrong with me? What if I am I'm good? Then what? Where does that leave me? And that got me thinking. It's oh, well, maybe I am good. Maybe there isn't anything wrong with me. Maybe I have worked on all the things that I need to. And whenever something does come up again that I do need to work on, I got books. I got people. I got questions. I got my intuition. I got my progress. I got things that I can fall back on. When if I need to solve a problem, I know how to solve the problem. It's quite simple. I just read and I meditate and I reflect and then I solve the problem. And I ask other people questions on what they would do in that situation. And then I make an informed decision afterwards. And I do the research and I make sure that it's the right thing to do. And I kind of forgot about that this morning. And that's why I was it was rough. And that's why I started texting on Teams and I was like, hey, can we read that? And I was like, no. And I just tossed my phone out because I was that's not what I actually felt like doing. It's just that's something that my mind was trying to trick me into doing. It's why does our mind plays tricks on us? It's why I like psychology. It's it's why I like human behavior. It's why I enjoy talking with people because the more I understand other people, the better I can understand myself, and the better I understand how my mind works, the better I want to say tweak it, twist it, turn it, make it work in my favor. Because a lot of people, and I can probably vouch for this as well for myself, is I let my mind control me. When it comes down to porn or something like that, it's oh, I get this urge to do it. It's oh, I haven't done it in a week. So then I jack off and it's oh, okay. And then I feel like, oh, well, I did it yesterday, so I might as well do it again. It's that addiction thing. It's the mind being addicted to jacking off, to pornography, to watching pixels on a screen instead of actually going out and talking to real women. There's always a battle, and the reason why I did it, I mean, I don't even need to justify it. Like, I have a dream, and then it happens type of thing. And then I'm like, oh, hey, let's just do it in real life too, which I shouldn't. I'm going to be better. Because last time I had to, I ended up just going out to the bar and actually just getting laid. So, there's always options. I can always find solutions to my problems. I know how to sell. I know how to communicate. I know what is required essentially now. And that's why, I got to remember that. I got to remember and not let my mind go down these, negative self-talk spirals of, oh, what are you going to do? How are you going to make money? And I'm just like, dude, there's always options. If I apply to 50 places on LinkedIn every single day, I will get a job. That's not that hard. I can go out and I can sell myself, my service. I can go and interview people. I can ask questions. I have multiple ways of making money. My primary focus is obviously making money on YouTube. And that's why, I was in the sauna today, and one of the guys came in, and I don't know what it is about couples, you guys, but she's like, oh, yeah, this couple introduced me, and I moved out here with my ex, and then, we ended up separating, and be it as it may. I'm curious as to whether or not these couples, if they're part of an MLM or if they're part of something else. It's something that I'm going to have to think about because I'm not entirely sure. The guys seem nice that I was talking with. It's just I don't know much about MLMs, and I'm not looking to sell a product. I'm just quite literally looking to sell myself, essentially. I feel like that's the best thing to do, and I just want to do things. I just want to experience things. I just want to, travel and see and eat good food and exercise a lot. Those are the things that I want to do, and breathe, obviously. I love breathing and walking. That's why there's a motto. It's just, one step at a time. It's just one step at a time. We'll get to the destination one step at a time. You don't climb a mountain, you don't walk, without taking one step at a time. You can run at sometimes, which will move you faster. You can get on a bike, which will move you faster. You can get in a car, which will move you faster. You can get in a plane, which will move you faster. At the end of the day, it's just one step at a time. It's just a matter of vehicle that you're in that is going to help you get to that destination. So, that was today. Day 51. Gonna think about the couple thing and see, because the guy, there was a conversation, dude, there's just things that happen that it's just I can't explain them. They just this is the stuff that I see all the time now. It's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. I can't tell how different it is, me looking on there versus looking at, my monitor. It's really something, dude. It's really, really something. Because the girls brought up Manitou Springs and how they wanted to do that, and then I told them, oh, I did it in flip-flops, and they're like, oh, I'll do it in high heels. And I was like, that's a great YouTube video. Hiking up Manitou Springs in high heels? That's the biggest challenge that you can do. And I was like, I do challenge videos, essentially. I like being challenged. I like pushing myself beyond my limits of what I think is possible. And then that happens. Can anybody explain this? I'm working on it.